Guys, Ironman disappointment of Lionel Sanders. Big change needed. My name is Roy Hinnen. I rode an 8:35 when I was in 1991. So I know a little bit about speed. I know a little bit about aerodynamics. I want to tell you in 5 points what Lionel Sanders needs to do to come back. Stay with me. First, before I start off, I mean, no question about that. Big gratitude to this guy. I'm very thankful for what he does for the sport. I love his honesty, I love his transparency about his training. Everything is on Strava, on Training Peaks, his wattage. He's the first pro for me that opens up and says, okay, this is what I'm doing in the training and so on. So we all kind of suffer with this guy. And that's why I'm motivated to give my little inputs in 5 points to him, how he can get back, okay? So, of course, I followed him on YouTube, seeing all what he did before the Ironman. He changed his diet 7 days before the Ironman. He did a 7-hour ride or something. So all that preparation and tapering probably, now we know, didn't really work out. So, what's the change he needs to do now? What's the lessons we can learn to make the necessary steps to get him back on track? Okay, first of all, my first input to him is he needs a scientific approach to future training. Okay, he needs to get analyzed with a performance dietitian. To train with what is fine, but he must understand how the energy is composed of, from what energy source is the power drawn from in percentage. How much from creatine phosphate, how much is from glycolysis, how much is through oxidation. Sorry guys, my English is not at the very best. I'm Swiss, but I'm trying hard to make it understand. So this is the glycolytic system, okay? Then he needs to get a baseline. He needs to get, okay, this is where I'm at my Ironman pace getting the energy from. Then he needs to change his training and then see how those 3 energy sources will move around and how other percentages are going to change. Okay, this is very scientific. This is many athletes do it. All the pro riders do this. I mean, riding 500 watts for 5 minutes. What does it say? It says nothing. It says absolutely nothing because we don't know how the energy is composed. Okay, so this is the step. He needs to get a scientific approach, get tested, and use different trainings and see how you shift around with those 3 energy sources. Okay. Second, I mean, the second one is an obvious one. His technique is still horror. I mean, he still looks bad on the bicycle. Knees are out, head is way up, the back is all round. I mean, I guess his CDA is about 0.24, and that's not enough for a professional. That's not enough, okay? The runner also looks bad, he's humbling, you know, so on that point, this is going to be your 5th discipline. You need to do core training, okay? A very concentrated core training, and also start to meditate, okay? Start to understand that the source, the power comes within you, without you moving around, hustling around the whole day. So sit down, 15 minutes a day. Remember what's crucial for you, what's important for you. Honor your wife, honor your sponsors. Just sit down and get quiet, okay? So this is very important. And has a direct connection to technique. I see it in my coachings from athletes who are very sensitive to the surroundings, have a beautiful technique because they see what's going on around. So point 2 is clear, okay? Work on technique. Third point I think for the next big race, I'm surprised he hasn't really started this a long time ago, is high altitude. I don't know any athlete who wants to perform hard on an endurance event who doesn't come from high altitude. Okay, there are very, very few who don't do it. So move to Boulder or come to us, to Switzerland, to St. Moritz, train with us 6 to 8 weeks. You know, we will wait at the bottom of a pass. If you are scared to drive down, no problems. You know, we don't race downhill, we race uphill. So you need a new stimulation. You can't sit indoor in your home. It doesn't stimulate racing anymore. You need to get out, okay? Open up and come outside, at least for different phases in your training period towards a race. You don't have to do it all the way. You can still do your key trainings indoors, stimulate with whatever, with your programs, and ride those rides indoors, no problem, okay? Okay, fourth point is, I mean, again, I told it, it's aerodynamics, okay? On your second place, Hawaii 217, you found out after in November that your CDA was about 0.261. I mean, this is this CDA is an age group CDA, okay? So if you're riding 316 watt about, compare this to Lange with a CDA of 0.2, you're losing about 30 watts. If you're taking into account the weight difference. You are, I think, about 74 kilos, he's about 62 kilos. So your 74 kilos at 0.24 CDA give you about 4.2 watts per kilo. Lange, I'm sure he rides at about 240 watts with 63 kilos, he's about a 3.8. How you want to beat this guy if he saves 0.4 watts per kilo and then is like 12 kilos lighter than you? You have no chance, okay? You will never have a chance to beat him, because this 30 watts you cannot make up nowadays, because he can also ride. So the point really is you must get down to 0.22. Everything higher, forget it, okay? So nutrition. Big one, the last one, fifth point for Lionel. Nutrition, we all saw it, he got a sponsor. I don't know how much you got, very good. Now he drinks like 10 bottles for a ride, goes 5 times PP. I mean, you can't be serious with this brand. This will never help you, okay? Here you need a very scientific approach of what food is really good for you, okay? You're not a robot. Nutrition now is in your brain, you eat with your brain, okay? In the old days, when you had a lot of power, you remembered me like Michael Phelps. You know, Michael Phelps, 3 times 3 hours in the pool every day, goes to, I don't know which shop he goes and gets the sandwiches in and eats and then goes training again. But kind of worked for him, because he never spent any, probably, or big waste of energy of what should I eat. He just ate with the gut feeling. And now, the whole nutrition subject with you is all in the brain. Okay, you can't control it anymore. So you eat with the brain. And my advice for you is come back to the gut feeling. Eat slowly. Okay, watch what you eat. Don't eat and watch a movie. Don't drive around and eat. Okay, sit down, relax, look at your food, and see food as something that you will get the reserves again out for your hard training. Okay. Because you're such a big talent. I mean, come on, you can concentrate, you can push so hard. So you need to see food is something that should give you a reserve. Have a kilo too much, who cares if you can push the wattage, okay? So try to lose the thinking again of food. Probably almost not possible, because once you start, you can't get back, okay? So, but try to get back to your gut feeling. Summing it up, I mean, for me, he's not a professional triathlete, okay? The race performance, of course, it is. But the spirit is hooked on suffering, okay? Your success is based on, if I will suffer the most, I will win and kill all the other guys, okay? This will not last. We have seen it in other athletes. This approach will not last. So please change that and come back stronger. So my advice for you is take 6 months off. Okay. I mean, you have achieved so much in the last couple of years, you came like really like this. So now, if you're jumping in again too much into hurting, you will really fall. That's my gut feeling. So take 6 months off. Let the other guys race. You watch them race. Okay. In this 6 months, reflect your life. Go for a travel. Go to the monastery with your wife. Start an inside journey. Okay. And most importantly, on those 6 months of taking off, you have to work on your addictive mentality. Okay. You're still a junkie. Okay, and this will never last. This will never last. I know that type of personality because I'm also like that. So that's why I can say it to you. So you have to drop this addictive mentality. Okay? Start to relax from inside. Drop the I must go fast behavior, I must go faster behavior. It doesn't work. Okay? Scientific, high altitude, good aerodynamics, well-based diet will get you back. Okay? So this is my input. Thanks guys for watching. Please push the button and write what you think about what I just told. Thank you.
Kurzfrage, danke fürs Zusehen. Wenn ihr noch mehr erfahren wollt über Triathlon Training, das ist mein Buch Triathlon Total. Könnt ihr auf Amazon kaufen oder auf books.ch für 28,95. Merci miteinander.